For a second, I thought, wait a minute, did Wilder really take that step aside money, or did he take a break? But evidently, no. They still have to fight. He has to get past Wilder before he sees Joshua.
This was not news to me. This was no excitement to me or anything. This is ridiculous to me.
Damn, you just killed my. I try to get the fans, make them feel like they're getting some news.
No, this is not news at all. And of course, would I like to see that fight? Of course. But first things first, there's like 17,000 variables. How do you hold a press conference or speak to the press? Because obviously they told Fury, hey, listen, announce this now. Hey, Eddie Hearn, announce this now. I didn't see Joshua announce it. Maybe he did. I'm not on social media hardly, but I didn't see him announce it. But there's so many variables. And first of all, for Fury, the variables are Wilder and Dillian White. Dillian White is the mandatory since I was 12 years old. So obviously he has to fight next after Wilder. And that's who knows, because he's been pushed aside so many years, and or he's going to take step aside money. And then when you talk about Joshua, you got Pulev because of the IBF. That fight is supposed to take place later on this year. And then you have Usyk because of the WBO. So if Usyk doesn't take step aside money, and then the WBO might strip Joshua, and now we have a fight, and it's not even for the undisputed title. And then we got, networks. We got Dazn and ESPN. What are we going to have, a pay-per-view now or what? Dazn got to give ESPN $7 billion to host the fight? Like, what's going on? And then we got venue, the location. Is it going to be in Saudi Arabia? That would be crazy. I think we'd have riots in England if that's the case. Too many variables for me to be excited. I'm sorry.
Well, here's Eddie Hearn talking to Sky Sports about it. Take a listen.
The main positive news is that Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury have both agreed to a two-fight deal, in essence. And the structure of that deal, always the most difficult part of any deal, is the financial element of that deal. And I believe we're in a great place where both guys have basically agreed on what that deal should be. We haven't signed contracts because there's still things to be worked out. But I think we're almost pushing towards a place where they can become drafted for 2021. Because like I said, the financial element of any deal is always the most difficult. And I think both guys are in agreement that, the structure of the deal has been put forward and approved by both parties.
So let me tell you.
Are you kidding me? Did you hear those key words? In essence, it's agreed upon. Difficult. Right, so, he said twice. Basically agreed upon. Like all these key words. Nothing has been done.
Let me tell you, fight fans, what when you see headlines that say fighters agree to terms. Let me tell you what that means. Nothing. Because if there isn't a contract signed on paper with a date and a venue and a guaranteed purse agreement and so on and so forth, like real contractual agreement, you can't take that to the bank, right? That means nothing. Now, it's good conversation because at least we know fighters, they've come to some sort of agreement where fighters have agreed at this moment. But 6 months from now, maybe Joshua doesn't agree with those same terms, or vice versa. Maybe Fury doesn't agree with those same terms 6 months from now. Who knows? But like Barack mentioned, I couldn't say it better myself. Like, there are too many moving parts to this for this to be guaranteed for you to take this in, to the bank. But that's a fight, honestly, Barack, that I'm really excited about. Like, I really genuinely think that Anthony Joshua has a couple little things that Wilder doesn't possess that will pose a threat to Fury. I think that this fight will be super competitive, and I think it's a toss-up. Yes, Fury will probably be the favorite in that fight, but I like it. But no, I haven't seen Joshua put anything out yet, and he's a major player. He's the other side. So until we see those guys, and I think because the way Joshua moves, like if there's no contract, he always said it. He said, "I'm not going to talk just to talk, just for the headlines. It has to be official tissue in order for me to, put something out there." So it's news, but please don't take this to the bank. Don't start placing your bets on Fury, Joshua. Nobody. It's not official yet, but hopefully it does happen, Brock. I pray that this fight indeed happens in 2021. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, see, this is the thing. This is not Wilder versus Joshua. That was the fight that we didn't know if we were going to get. There was a lot of turmoil when it comes to negotiations. The sides weren't even talking to each other. So that would be news if we heard something like that. This is not news. Joshua has always expressed that he wanted to fight Fury and he would fight Fury. Fury has always expressed the same. He said, I want 2-3 fights left, and these are the fighters I want to fight. So this is nothing strange. I mean, they haven't even picked a venue yet, a location for the fight. It sounds like the only thing they really agreed upon is, yeah, I want to fight him. Yeah, I'll do 2 fights. Yeah, I'll do 50-50 for the first fight and 60-40 for the winner for the second fight. And that's just like exact same terms that Wilder and Fury had. So it sounds like that's the only thing they agreed upon. And that's not much. What do we care? We don't care about that. We care about where, when is it signed.
That's it. Courtesy of BT Sports and from Fury's Instagram page, he talks about the 2-fight deal. Here's Tyson Fury.
Hello there. I'm just after getting off the phone with Daniel Kinahan. He's just informed me that the biggest fight in British boxing history has just been agreed. Get up there, my boy! Big shout out, Dan. He got this done. Literally over the line. 2-fight deal. Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua next year. One problem. I've just got to smash Deontay Wilder's face right in the next fight. And then we go into the Joshua fight next year. So there we are. The Gypsy King versus AJ is on for next year, but there's a hurdle in the road called the Bronze Bomber, a.k.a. the Knockout King, and I will get onto him and knock him spark out, and then we got on to the big fight. So big thank you, Dan, for getting this deal over the line. All the best. God bless you all. See you soon. Peace out.
Now, Barack, with all that being said, meaning what we said to open up this show today, I still don't have a problem with these guys talking about this. We all know that boxing is returning gradually, slowly. Shakur Stevenson came back with a hell of a knockout win a couple of days ago, but there aren't any fights that are going to make headlines right now. That have happened that everybody's talking about. So if Fury and Hearn and Joshua and these people want to talk about, plant this seed for the fight fans, I don't have a problem with it. I think in a way it's actually good marketing. You start planting that seed now, even though the fight is not official.
Yeah, you say you don't have a problem with it. Guess what? I don't have a problem with it neither. You said you was excited. I'm not excited. But I can tell you who probably has a problem with this particular talk. And I would say that's Dillian White and Alexander Usyk. Because basically your promoter, Eddie Hearn, is talking about a fight that is dependent upon you losing. Or you taking step-aside money. And you're Dillian White, who's been the mandatory since 1999, and you're like, I don't want step-aside money. I want to fight at the title. I'm getting older. I'm 30 years old. I need a fight. Usyk, same thing. Like, he's the WBO mandatory. He wants, I'm sure he wants that fight after Pulev. So where does it put them? Where's the faith in those fighters can have in their promotional company that they even want you to fight for the title? That's a tough position to be in.
If those fighters don't understand that Anthony Joshua is the cash cow, he is the priority for matchroom boxing. I mean, come on, man. They don't understand the sport of boxing. You in order to be in this sport, right, and to climb to the top, you have to have thick skin. You can't be sensitive. You can't be worried about the way you're treating him and the way you're treating him when you know who AJ is. I'm sorry. None of you are at that level. No disrespect to Usyk or any of those dudes. Obviously, they would have to beat an AJ or beat a Fury or beat these guys in order to be that king. AJ's the guy right now. You have to step in line. So you have to expect that from Eddie Hearn.